4500 series, and more. See them all at MahindraUSA.com.
Visit your Mahindra dealer at Zaremba Equipment in Gaylord or online at ZarembaEquipment.com or Pioneer Diesel in Traverse City or PioneerDiesel.com.
Hey there, champions of health. Ready to take charge of your future? It's time to make choices that reflect your self-care goals. It's time to choose health and skip the vape. Vaping might seem cool, but your future deserves better. Let's breathe in clean air, embrace energy, and unleash your potential. Choose health. Skip the vape. Your choices today impact how you feel about yourself and how you feel about your future. To learn more, connect with us on Facebook at Crawford Partnership to End Substance Misuse.
It's time for the Northern Michigan High School Sports Scoreboard Show on Up North Sports Radio with your host, Rich Calkins.
Scoreboard Show. I'm Chad Patterson along with Jerry Coyne, and glad to be with you on this beautiful Saturday morning. And we had some great girls basketball action last night, and of course on the front page of the Traverse City Record Eagle talks about the Traverse City Central Trojans completing an undefeated Big North season. And, boy, they did it with youth. They got a junior leader on that team and a sophomore leader, so they may control that Big North for quite a while, Jerry.
Well, as we've been talking about for the last few weeks, Chad, the girls have replaced the boys on the big Friday night stage.
They really have.
I mean, that is a tradition forever. Tuesdays and Friday nights is when the boys played, but they've moved the guys, for the most part, to Thursdays, and the ladies took the stage. You called a great game last night.
Thank you. Yeah, well, and it was their snow-going game, and really the biggest crowd I think I've seen all season in that gym. And, of course, you get a lot of the parents, though, for snow-going court and stuff like that. But they stayed until the very end. It was a 2-point game, a 2-point heartbreaking loss to Harbor Springs with Grayling. And it was you got to see two of the best players in the Lake Michigan Conference, and it was like two heavyweight fighters just trading punches. Michaela Watkins of the Grayling Vikings and Olivia Flynn of the Harbor Springs Rams, and she is just a junior, and she is
Michaela's a senior, right?
Michaela's a senior, yep, and
Is she headed anywhere?
I've heard some talk of some JUCO colleges and stuff like that.
She's a hell of an athlete.
Yeah, I'm going to try to talk to her a little bit about her future on Tuesday night. We got a game, their last regular season game against McBain. But she's all about talking about team. She doesn't, when I interviewed her last night, I said, wow, you and Olivia Flynn going back and forth. And she said, this is a team sport. I want to talk about my team. And I thought that was very classy of her.
Yeah. A heartbreaker, as you mentioned, the Lady Vikings ahead the whole game, but they just couldn't sustain at the end.
And a
couple of missed shots by Grayling and
some tears.
Yeah, and conversions by Harbor Springs. I mean, sometimes it's that simple. You miss a shot, man.
it was hard to watch because I think Dan Brandt got a huge break right at the end, and Harbor Springs was up by 2 points. And their star player, Olivia Flynn, dribbled off her foot.
Right.
And it went out of bounds. They got 6.1 seconds and inbound right on their side of the court. He called a timeout and drew up a great play. Got a great look for Callie DeMore, the junior phenom for Grayling. And Callie put it up, bounced off the rim. Then they get a rebound.
Yeah.
Allie Helinski is able to get the rebound, put it back up. And that's when the tears came in. She missed.
Fell off the other side of the rim.
Oh, man, and it was that was tough to watch. But and I know I called the St. Francis win that Grayling had this year, but that last night was the best game that I called all season. That was just not a lot of turnovers, great
left everything on the floor. Fun game to call, a tough game to lose, but it won't matter if the Lady Vikings make a big run in their side of the tournament.
Yep, and Dan Brandt told me a little bit about his district. I plan on going over a lot of that. We're going to go over a lot of the boys, but next week with Rich Calkins going over the girls' districts and stuff like that because they'll start the week
they're
after.
A week behind. Yep.
But yeah, they he said he feels pretty good about his district. You know, these coaches are always like, he's got one more regular season game, but I'm like, you took a peek ahead, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, of course they did. They know what the district is
Yep.
at the very beginning of the year, because then they start evaluating from afar the other teams that are going to be in the district and how that's going to go. Switching gears to the boys' side of things, you had witness to Game 5 of a winning streak that the boy Vikings are on.
5-game winning
A little
streak.
heater.
A little heater, and it followed a cooler. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
There was a 7-game losing streak in there, and really the Grayling Vikings started to gel about 5 games ago, and I keep hearing the same word over and over again from the players and from the coaches, which is trust.
Yeah.
They all started to trust each other. They all started playing for one another. There wasn't, and from your playing days, you got to be able to move the ball. And if you're just playing stagnantly, you're just like kind of standing around, nothing's going to happen for your team. And really, that is when Grayling started making the change. They started moving the ball. They started passing the ball, sharing it. And I think there were a couple of players on the team that were trying to do a little too much and trying to make things happen. And, just like when you're hitting a baseball, it's like you're going to hit it farther if you're, just not trying as hard when or your golf drive, maybe. I don't know.
We're going to talk to Coach L.J. Mead about this winning streak and how they look heading into his districts. Unfortunately, Rich is not here, but we do have interviews from the Traverse City West final regular season game of the year, where they nipped Petoskey 63-60.
That sounds like a good one.
Yeah, so let's get this interview going. We've got Coach Bauman and then a couple of the players.
Another incredible close game against Petoskey, close, with West coming out on top 63-60.
Yes, we knew it was going to be a battle. We came in knowing that we were just going to kind of run our basics, right? We don't want to show our district hand yet. So we came out knowing it was going to be a real hard battle. They shot the ball well. Credit to them. They knocked out some shots, and we didn't. Especially down the stretch, we missed some free throws, we missed some layups early on, and that's kind of the game that's played. And they made shots, and fortunately, we were able to make them when it counted. And I thought our defense was better in the second half to kind of keep that lead for us.
Real nice balanced scoring attack tonight, Coach, when no one person really going off for 20 or anything, but Mason Zimmerman with 9, Ben Hobbers 13, 9 for Winslow Robinson, Gunnar Canty with 8, Quentin Gillespie with 8, and then Blake Lefebvre and Lucas Anglin also getting some points. So really a total team effort here once again.
And again, we knew we would have to put in a team effort. I know Coach Tam was likely going to try to take Lincoln and Ben out of it and make the other guys score, and they did. Blake's going to be able to give us some good minutes coming off the bench here, come district time. Mason Zimmerman just had a great game for us, come in, hit some big shots, and I'm just real happy for his confidence in that. And then, Gunnar played really well inside. Lucas running the floor, finishing. You always love to see that.
That was great.
Just a great balance scoring. You're absolutely right. It was our success tonight.
Mason Zimmerman, I think 3 consecutive possessions he drained threes and really got this. What a great turnout here tonight too. The student section, the bleacher creatures are on top of it. Also the pep band. It was a great atmosphere.
It was a great atmosphere, and again, great way to send these seniors out on the last regular season home game. What I just found out, I didn't know, but they just tied the record for the most wins in West history at 17. So going 17 and 5 for this crew says a lot about the work they've put in, and especially my seniors, the 2 that will talk with you here, that have been with me for 3 years and have just really helped this program get to where it is.
Yeah, no, Coach, that is for sure. Like you said, 17 and 5, a tremendous season, and now we're getting ready for the playoffs. Again, a good chance we may meet Petoskey again right back here next Wednesday.
Yes, and that's kind of what we're planning on, knowing that anything can happen in the districts, but knowing that we'll likely have them, and we'll change some things up. Like I said, pretty vanilla tonight for us as far as what we were running and conceptually what we wanted to do. So being able to kind of have a vanilla game plan and still come out on top, I was real happy with. Again, not having our best offensive output performance.
Coach, time to name our not only the Jimmy John's player of the game, but the Fox Motors motivated player of the game. JJ and I couldn't settle on something because, again, could be many different characters here, as so many kids played really well tonight.
I agree. Just a great effort all around. Mason Zimmerman has played great for us. He's struggled, I know, from his own personal standpoint, thinking the last couple games for him to come out and have that kind of game and knock down shots for us. I'm going to give him the Jimmy John's player of the game, kind of leading us through there. And as far as a motivated player, that there's just a lot out there. I'd probably have to give that to Winslow. I really thought he did a nice job down the stretch, made those big free throws for us when he had that cramp, rebounded, took care of the ball when we needed it to. Really thought he did a nice job of controlling the tempo for us. So Fox Grand Traverse will go to Winslow, and Jimmy John's will go to Mason Zimmerman.
Mason Zimmerman there. JJ, you're at the helm there, buddy. All right, got the thumbs up. Coach, thanks a lot. I'm going to talk to your players now. We'll talk next week, of course, before the our first game in districts. It'll be the second round, per se, of district play. But looking forward to it as we ramp it up there for tournament play.
I'm excited. Like I said, just again, shout out to my 5 seniors. These two, Ben and Q, been with me from the very start as sophomores. Gunnar and Wally coming along the last 2 years, just improving, great assets, and just love bringing Lucas on this year. What a great kid. Really has given us good minutes when he's in there. Just polite, works hard, and just what a great asset. So couldn't be happier with the 5 seniors I had, and real proud of the effort these two put in tonight. So thanks, guys.
Congratulations, Coach Ballman.
There's the interview with Coach Ballman. Let's hear that quick word with the players.
Quentin Double Duty Gillespie here, finishing out this senior official regular season game. Here, we're going to play some more here. Quentin, great game. Unofficially 8 points tonight, but really had it going on. Had the 3-stroke going early and got the team fired up.
Yes, sir. I mean, I said it against Benzie, but one of my coaches told me to stick to that 3-point, and I've been doing it ever since, and it's been turning out good. We're winning, and I'm pretty consistent with it lately.
And Quentin, we're always amazed. JJ and I talk about it all the time, and about your ability to draw charges, where you're willing to sacrifice your body, because a lot of times it's those big fellas coming down the lane there, and you're willing to throw your body out there for the good of the team. Now, and you've done that for all 3 years that we've seen you on varsity. What is it about you that just is it just because you know it gets the team and the crowd fired up?
Yeah, I mean, people love it, and I love to do it. If it gets the team going, I'll do it, and it's been expected of me, so I like to carry on that role.
Well, it's to the point now where we talk about that you run a school for how to draw a charge, because again, you're so good at it, and yeah, Professor Q taking him to school. So yeah, congratulations on tying the most wins in West history. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I mean, it's crazy just to think 2 years ago we were struggling to get 12 wins, Ben? About 12 wins, and now we're here tied for the most. It's been a journey.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations, bud. Looking forward to coming back here Wednesday night, playing the winner of Alpena Petoskey. So it's gonna stretch that out even further.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks. Quentin Gillespie, hand that over to Ben Haber. Ben, little bit of a slow start for you tonight. Officially, you were, 13 points, or you had 3 going into the fourth quarter, and you end up with 13. So 10 points in that fourth quarter. Every one of them were needed.
Yeah, for sure. Shots weren't falling, and it's tough, but the lanes were wide open, and went good.
Yeah, it did, exactly. All of a sudden, it's amazing, because as you know, as a shooter, as a scorer, you can't stop shooting just because it may not be falling initially. You got to keep on going and shooting because, again, the team relies on you from the scoring aspect.
Yeah, for sure. Q at the end there got me a nice dish to the corner, and it felt really good to go in, I'm not going to lie. But, everyone scored tonight, and that was what was awesome. And it shows that we are a team that has good chemistry. So
totally agree. It's so much fun when the whole team contributes, whether it's defensively, offensively, all that, and you as the senior captain, you got to know that keeps the whole team happy as well.
For sure. I love my team.
Yeah, no doubt. So, Ben, congratulations on tying the most wins in TC West history. Let's come back here next Wednesday night, no matter who the foe is, and set the record.
Yeah, we'll be ready. We'll be ready.
All right, Ben Havers, thank you very much on the post-game show.
So, and a very hot and excited Traverse City West basketball team heading into districts. It's a pretty localized, familiar district, Chad.
I'm looking at it right now. I mean, outside of Marquette coming from the Great Northern UP Conference, they're looking at teams they really recognize and do well.
It's kind of it's a little unusual if you ask me. So Central is playing at Gaylord on Monday, and hopefully. If Anthony Ribel is healthy, you're going to see, Gilo and Ribel, two of the preeminent scorers in northern Michigan. Hopefully Anthony is healthy. Luke Gilo headed to Oakland University. I still got to get Greg Campy on the phone. I don't know if I'll get him on the show, but at least to get the scouting report and how they were able to wrangle Luke Gilo onto the Oakland University team. That's a pretty good basketball program.
And Luke will be in the friendly confines of his own gym.
That's going to be very helpful. Shooters like the home cooking for sure. The other game on that Monday night is Alpena versus Petoskey. And so Marquette gets the winner of Central Gaylord, and TC West is going to play the winner of the Petoskey-Alpena game.
And Petoskey on paper, should take that one. So.
Yep.
But, you don't play the games on paper.
No, but, Alpena is a different animal out of their own gym.
Yep.
So
they've struggled this year on the road.
They
Absolutely.
certainly have. And then you guys are on the in Kingsley on Monday.
Yes, and we play Kingsley in District 34 at Kingsley. That's a non-traditional district.
Yeah,
though,
I hate it when they do that. It's so bizarre.
So if we win in Kingsley, we go up to the Sioux on Wednesday.
I can't believe they can't find a happy medium, even if it's not one of the teams in the district.
Neutral, like some
play
kind of
in play at Pellston.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I agree with you 100%. But once you throw in those UP teams, it's
I get it.
It's anything goes. And, you got to make it fair for them when the travel's involved and stuff like that. But, it should be an interesting game. We played Kingsley way back in 2023 on December 18th and handled them pretty well, 68-51. But a lot can change, over that amount of time. You know how it is from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. So,
well, a lot of times the bright lights of the districts bring teams, bring out the best in teams. Sometimes not so much, and then again, it's basketball. You get a hot shooter that, and all of a sudden you get run out of the play.
We almost dealt with that the other day.
Yeah, that's just the nature of basketball. You see it in high school, you see it in college. Hell, we're starting to see 16 seeds beat 1 seeds. And
well, yesterday you talked about that. You talked about possessions and shooting percentage, and that's what it can all come down to. So, districts is a different animal.
So we'll take a quick break here on the Bill Marsh High School Automotive Scoreboard Show, and then talk to Coach L.J. Mead about what he sees from the team in a very up and down season, but heading it with full steam into the districts. Back right after these on Up North Sports Radio.
The weather is brought to you by Pioneer Hills Marine. Boat show season is around the corner. Mark your calendars for March 9th and 10th and come to our in-house boat show at Pioneer Hills Marine. That's March 9th and 10th at Pioneer Hills Marine, making memories priceless.
I'm Doppler 9 and 10 Chief Meteorologist Tom O'Hare. How about your forecast today? Got lots of sunshine, some patchy clouds, primarily in northwestern lower and parts of the UP. Within those clouds, some flurries, but that's about it. Everyone else has lots of sunshine. But remember, it's going to be a chilly day. High temperatures, mid-20s to middle 30s, about where they're supposed to be for this time of year. A little breeze, making that wind chill feel just a little colder throughout the morning especially. But tonight, dry skies, just clouds building back in. Lows barely changing anywhere, 20s and 30s. Sunday, 30s to upper 40s our forecast. And for Monday, sunshine and clouds, highs near 50 degrees in some areas. I'm Doppler 9 and 10 Chief Meteorologist Tom O'Hare.
Hi, this is Bill Marsh Jr. Introducing the new eMarsh custom purchase experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh makes car buying fast and easy. Choose your vehicle and options, get an accurate trade-in value, calculate your monthly payment choices, and apply for credit. You can even schedule at-home or at-work test drives and deliveries. Start your eMarsh experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh. Welcome to easy. And thank you.
The Traverse City Record Eagles Simply the Best 2024 Reader's Choice Contest is now open. Nominate your favorite businesses, organizations, and professionals in Northern Michigan to earn them well-deserved recognition as Simply the Best. You can nominate once daily in each category now through Friday, May 10th. Our 2023 Simply the Best broke records with more than 14,500 nominations and more than 26,000 votes. Support your favorites and help them stand out above the rest. Nominate at record-eagle.com/simplythebest.
The five-man electrical jam. Tesla. Tesla. Coming at you live Friday, March 15th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Tickets start at $44 and are on sale now at the box office and online at etix.com. Party hard, rock harder. Tesla. Friday, March 15th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
It was a day not unlike any other when you pulled into the driveway and realized your house was no longer welcoming you home. The only way back from this decaying time warp is to cross over to the Woodworker Zone. Let the Woodworker shop in Cummins unlock your imagination and guide you back to an exterior that will welcome you home. Real pine log sidings, deckings, log home kits, stains, and sealants. See it all at loghomeshop.com.
All right, we are back on the Bill Marsh Scoreboard Show, and I'm Chad Patterson along with Jerry Coyne, and we have head coach of the Grayling Vikings, LJ Mead, on the phone. How are you doing this morning, Coach?
Doing well, guys. How about yourselves?
We're doing good, and you ended the season on a 5-game heater, as we've been calling it, a 5-game winning streak. And that's got to feel pretty good, but you got a little bit of a scare the other night on Thursday night in Inland Lakes. Talk about that game a little bit.
Yeah, that was a fun game. I thought it was well executed by both teams and just super back and forth and, blow for blow. Like we'd run down and knock down a three-pointer and, okay, here we go. And then they go down and knock down one, and each team seemed to have an answer all night long. Every time there was a run, the other team made a run, and fortunately for us, we were able to finish on top. But I thought, Inland Lakes has got some kids that played really well, and one player that we weren't really expecting, to be the offensive threat that he was in the game, hitting 4 threes, and so it was a fun game.
Coach, just about a perfect game to have just as you're heading into districts. A nip-and-tuck game where there's some pressure that you really want to win. You're able to pull it out because you're going to see that type of game more often than not in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And, on their end, they shot the ball really well. Their effective field goal percentage was 71.9%, and I don't think that it was poor defense. They just hit shot after shot, in our face with hands up, and a couple minutes where a couple possessions we didn't get back in transition, but overall, after rewatching the game, I was really happy with the way our kids played. And when you say nip and tuck and down to the end, I felt like our kids did a great job of executing down the end with our game plan, our delayed game, knocking down the free throws when they fouled us at the end, and executing exactly how we needed to. So it was great to end the season on a tight game like that, where we had to find a way to win.
Well, usually when a team shoots that well, you lose the game. Those aren't X's and O's. Some team gets hot. It's like how Villanova beat Georgetown way back in the day. They shoot 78% from the floor. You don't usually win those games.
No, that's what was awesome for our kids is that we were able to, the points per possession at the end of the game was 1.16 for both teams.
Yeah, that is. strong.
We were able to get to them defensively a little bit and get just a couple extra possessions in there with our pressure defense and some easy buckets. But other than that, it was a back and forth grinder and a fun game.
Yeah, and I think that's been one of the most impressive things, Coach, and we're here with Coach L.J. Mead from the Grayling Vikings. One of the most impressive things about this 5-game winning streak is your ability to close out these games, and that is definitely going to help you in District 34. You got Kingsley coming up on Monday, and you're in their place way back, as I just said, way back in 2023, December 18th. You guys played them. You handled them pretty well, but, things can change throughout the season. Have you guys went back and looked at that tape, or have you looked at more recent tape of them?
We've done a combination of both. Clearly, you want to look at what they're doing now. They made it, obviously, made a fantastic run in football and got kind of a late start to their season, winning the state title in football. And so we did catch them early on, and we've watched some games recently as well as going back and looking at where we had successes and where we struggled with them, early on. And so I know our kids are looking forward to, to the tournament and have hopes of making a run. So we got shots up yesterday and given them today off for their snow going, and then tomorrow we're back in and going to do a walkthrough, and then we're going to go over and go to their gym to get some shots up for and get to play in their gym for a little bit in the afternoon.
Coach, to me, and you'd know better, Chad would know better as well, there seems to be a feeling, a lot of similarities with this team and the team that made it to the quarters a couple years ago. Some of the kids were on that team. The team had a lot of inconsistencies, but rallied at the end of the regular season and then was a force in the playoffs. Do you see the same thing?
Yeah, I don't want to put any pressure on these kids to.
Well, they're not listening. They're not listening to us at all. Trust me. None of those kids are listening to the radio.
Right. Yeah. So, but yes, we went through a struggle in that season. When we made the quarterfinal run, we had a bout of COVID. We had to play games with our JV team at the varsity level. So we went through hardships in that season. And, this one, yes, we did. Yeah. We had trouble finishing games there for a while. It wasn't like we were getting blown out or we weren't games. We had some trust issues that were similar to what we did in that prior season, and kids trying to do too much. And I feel like, yes, we're in a good spot where the kids are playing together, the ball's moving. We got multiple kids scoring. 10 kids in 2 of our last 3 games getting in the scorebook. So I think our kids are in the right space, right head space. Coaching staff's done a great job in trying to prepare them, and the buy-in is there, and let's go see what happens.
Well, Coach, I remember talking to you before the season started, and just kind of it was an off-the-record conversation, and now I'm going to put it on the record. But I mean, we were just having a conversation about the team in general, and you were worried about depth at that point. And I just want you to talk a little bit about some of those kids that have really stepped up off the bench, especially your sophomores on your team. And depth isn't as big of a problem as it was in the beginning of the season, is it?
No, it's one thing that really hurt us honestly was Daniel Hunger getting hurt early in the Ogama Heights game where he rolled his ankle, and it was really a 6-week deal where he was not able to go, not able to give it minutes, not able to practice. So him getting more comfortable, getting confident again in himself, knowing as a sophomore that he belongs and he's there for a reason, and so he's been able to give us some really good minutes. And another sophomore, Austin Sports, coming in and giving us some good minutes, some energy defensively, picking up some key steals and things like that. So that's been great. And then from our upperclassmen, we've been able to get some solid minutes from Landon Hoffman, Spooty as we call him, and our foreign exchange student in Leo Bertamancello, who's just an energy guy. Defensively gets after and frustrates the opponents because he's like flies on boom. He's right on you and in your grill and makes you feel uncomfortable. And so those are the guys that stand out that have been able to give us some extra minutes off the bench.
Yeah, and I know that was a huge loss when Daniel went down in the middle of the season. But in kind of a weird collateral of that, though, really Austin Schwartz got more minutes in his absence, and I think that really helped his game and is really paying dividends now. Would you agree?
100%. That was, when someone's misfortune, another man's fortune, unfortunately, in this case. But that's absolutely next man up. And, Austin really struggled at the beginning of the year. And if we're being honest, I was afraid, is he better to play JV and get more minutes than be up here with us? And that opening allowed him to not only get minutes at the 4 position, but also to back up our center position. And he just started, feeling more comfortable. And as his confidence grew and his teammates' belief in him grew, he grew. So that was a good thing for Austin.
All right. Well, thanks for.
One last question, Coach. So walk us through the mathematics of this. I think Chad was telling me yesterday, you got to play at Kingsley. If you win that game, then you have to go up to the Sioux. And then if you win that game, then you have a game at home. Is that right?
Yeah, so we are a non-divisional district this year with adding the Sioux. And so how that works out is Kingsley is the host school. And so even though we are on the top of the bracket, they being the host school for the district, we're heading there Monday.
Right.
If Kingsley wins, then the Sioux would actually go and play at Kingsley. However, Kingsley's the top of the bracket, so if we beat Kingsley, then we travel up to the Sioux. And then on the other half, Kalkaska, being the top half of the bracket, is hosting Sheboygan, and then the winner would actually, I believe, play at Boyne City. So if our guys step up to the plate and put one together here, we could potentially host a district final on Friday, which would just be fantastic. And so we know it's a one game championship at this point.
Right.
Is the approach, and one game at a time, and we'll see what happens.
And Coach, I heard that you said a 6:00 tip-off. Is that true? Because the Record Eagle says 5:30 tip-off. So do you know for sure on Monday?
Yeah,
so Monday is going to be a 6 p.m. game.
6 p.m. game.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we want to make sure Chad's. We got to make sure Chad's there at the right time, Coach. We don't want to miss the first half of the game on the radio.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was originally based off of if they were hosting both games.
Yeah.
5:30 and one would have been a 7, but and I do know that it is a 6 p.m. game is what it's scheduled at Kingsley, and then Wednesday, if we win, Wednesday would be a 7 p.m. game in the Sioux.
It's so disappointing not to have the 2 games in the district. There seems to be a lot more energy in the gym when you've got the fans in for all 4 teams, and I think all the teams perform better, and especially if an upset happens or something, then the gym really has a lot more electricity. It's kind of disappointing that this is a split district.
Well, we see it in the NCAA. It's like another game's going to start right away.
And you got a lot of gym rats. You're like, okay, I'm going to get to see here. 2 games for $5. That's good for me. So good luck, Coach.
Hey, I appreciate it, and on that note, as a coach, it's a little more difficult too, because there's one thing to watch a team on film, another thing to be able to sit there and watch them in person.
Right.
So if you win that early game, or if you're playing that second game, you get to watch that game before in person, and So it is a little more of a challenge for the coaching staff and then the kids as well. But exciting time of the year for basketball, and looking forward to the opportunity for our kids. I appreciate, again, all season long helping us promote our program in Viking basketball. So you guys have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Go Vikes.
Head coach L.J.
Right,
Mead
go
of the Grayland Vikings. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, Chad, from the coaching standpoint, because it's so true. Watching a team in person, that's not even a comparison. I mean, it's good to get film.
Well, you see tendencies and stuff like that, and it's really right up close.
You get to understand how a lot of coaches' substitution patterns go on momentum, and you can't. It's hard to figure that out until you get a feel for a team when you see them in person, and so yeah, this is. Coach is right. You got to do what you got to do. We play who's on the schedule.
I can tell this really upsets you.
It does. It really does.
Yeah. I can see your old basketball player coming back.
I'm looking at all the districts downstate, and it's one high school. All these teams are going to show up. Yes, some teams get a bye, but even if they get a bye, those coaches that are getting the bye are in the gym.
Absolutely, yeah, and they're watching those teams, man. I mean, that's a great point by Coach Mead, because I didn't even think about that. I just thought about how much it's going to affect my travel.
I'm going to be, hopefully they win. Let's not, just pencil in a victory.
Oh, exactly. Oh, yeah.
I mean, Kingsley is at home.
And they're good athletes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you never know what's going to happen with the officiating or anything else. You got to play the games.
Freak injury, anything. I mean,
yeah. I mean, if they can manage to put together 2 wins, then they get a home game. So,
make a run. It'll be cool. All right, we will be right back with more of the Bill Marsh Scoreboard Show after these messages from our awesome partners.
Hi, this is Bill Marsh Jr. Introducing the new eMarsh custom purchase experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh makes car buying fast and easy. Choose your vehicle and options, get an accurate trade-in value, calculate your monthly payment choices, and apply for credit. You can even schedule at-home or at-work test drives and deliveries. Start your eMarsh experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh. Welcome to easy. And thank you.
Winning is in the air this February at Saganing Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel during Cupid's Cash Giveaway. Join us Saturdays from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. for the chance to spin Cupid's Wheel. You could be one of the lucky members to take home a share of over $68,000 in cash, premium play, and more. It's the Cupid's Cash Giveaway, only at Saganing Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit Saganing-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
what makes Benetham so special is that it's cozy and friendly enough to be your neighborhood hangout and distinctive enough to host special occasions and celebrations every day. That's why so many in the North will tell you that Benetham's is their favorite. Even the half-off happy hour menu has a dozen unique appetizers and cocktails. Visit Benethams.com to make your reservation and enjoy a dining experience that is truly unique. Benethams, for the true love of food.
The threat of cyber attacks is on the rise. It's never been more important to have an IT expert to secure your company's data. Dunn's Business Solutions is part of a large IT security company, Visual Edge IT. Call Dunn's today and gain peace of mind. Dunn's is also your expert for office furniture, copiers, technology products, and phone systems. Head down the road to data security when you call Dunn's Business Solutions in Gaylord or visit michigan.visualedgeit.com.
Welcome back to the Bill Marsh Automotive Scoreboard Show. I'm Chad Patterson along with Jerry Coyne, and we are going to be joined right now by the Cadillac Viking head coach, Coach Benzenberger. Berg, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry about that.
He hasn't seen you guys play yet, Coach. Rich is not in his daughter's getting married today, so I have a new co-host.
Big day for Rich. That's awesome.
You know, dancing with your daughter on her wedding, there is nothing quite like it. So, we were happy to let him go.
I'm a pretty emotional guy, so I'm thankful that I have two sons and I don't have to worry about doing that daddy-daughter dance because it would probably
Coach.
kill me.
Me too.
I have two sons but a daughter, and I got the opportunity to do it, Coach. And, it's about as emotional as it gets, especially when there was a couple of guys when I was dancing with my daughter that I know passed away before they were allowed to dance at their daughter's wedding. So yes, you're lucky that you don't have to endure that one.
Yeah,
I'm sure Jerry will have a great day and enjoy it. Hopefully he gets to take it all in.
Oh, yeah, he'll be fantastic. Coach, tell us a little bit about the game with Gaylord the other night.
Yeah, obviously last regular season game, and our kids had the last couple games actually at Traverse City St. Francis Tuesday and then at Gaylord Thursday. We had a little look about us that makes me excited because I feel like we're playing our best basketball, and we got this little edge to us that we've been able to come out and just jump on people pretty quickly and kind of get them against the ropes, and then I don't want to say coast, but be able to keep the pressure on them and make them chase us, which is always a good thing.
What, Gaylord only put up 41, which I think is what Gilo's been averaging the last 3 weeks. So what did you end up holding him to?
He had 24 for the game. Look, that dude's a good player. Like, he can score. We guarded him well. I think he had 15 at half, and 3 of those threes, one of my best defenders was right with him, and he still made the shot. But our kind of approach to that was he's going to get some. We want to make him work for whatever it is he does get, and let's make sure we're not giving up offensive rebounds or anything goofy to the other folks on that team.
Yeah, I mean, he's a player. I guess he's going to be heading to Oakland University next year. So, in the last couple of games before he played you guys, he was in the mid-30s. So he's been filling it up. He's going to be a problem in the district for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the premier scorers in Northern Michigan. That's not debatable, and I'm not sad that he's graduating. I do wish him the best of luck. He actually was AAU teammates with a couple of our guys, so after the game, it was cool to see those 3 get together, get some pictures taken, and enjoy each other's company.
Coach, you're headed down to a district you haven't ever really played in before, right?
Yeah, not in my time here, Jerry. We've been Division II in all 10 of my seasons here, with an exception of this one, obviously.
Right.
Early in the early 2000s, we were back in D1, and this was typically the district that we got placed in. So prior to me coming to Cadillac, we have been in this district before, but it'll be a first thing for me.
You ever played in that Mount Pleasant gym?
Yeah, we do play them. We actually played them at their place earlier this year. We typically play them once a year, so
okay.
It is familiar to us, which is break my heart. And we actually got them by 15 earlier in the year, so very familiar. Back in my first year when we went to the semis, we had our quarterfinal game there as well, so we played there a bunch.
When's your first matchup, Coach, in the district?
Yeah, so we drew the bye
right.
On Monday, so we play the winner of Bay City Western and Midland Dow on Wednesday at 5:30. So a little bit of a reprieve here. We get a little break.
And how are you looking?
I gave my guys yesterday off, giving them the day off, and we'll get together Sunday to start our prep for our Wednesday game.
How are you looking health-wise going into the districts?
I think everybody's probably a little beat up nowadays. Bailey Wade, one of my starters, rolled an ankle about 2.5 weeks ago, but he's back playing.
Good.
He's never going to be 100% healthy without, a couple weeks rest. So he's a pretty tough kid. He'll push through it. And other than that, we're as healthy as we can be.
He's got a few days off. That extra couple days can really make a difference if he spends a lot of time with that ankle in the ice, Coach. I know he's an important player to you because, you don't have the greatest depth, and it changed your rotation when we saw you play against Wayne Memorial.
Definitely, and, people often tell me he's not that big of a loss because he's 6'4", he's 250 pounds, he only averages 4 points a game. That's the novice basketball player. Anybody that knows anything about basketball and watches him on the defensive end of the floor, he's kind of our general. He's leading people. He's in the right place every time, and he's not going to make the wrong play. And that might not be shooting it much for him.
Right.
But the ball moves when it's in his hand, and the ball finds the best shot.
Well, he also, it's not that he's a rim protector, but it's a little more difficult to drive into the lane when he's on the floor.
Absolutely. He never misses a block out, and we try to put our chest we do some fake and fade stuff where our big guys put their chest at the ball handler and wall up and try to make them finish over our length. So
missing him was definitely huge for us, and having him back's been great. He's actually been scoring a little bit more than he has been in the regular season too, so that's just an added bonus.
Coach, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but you guys should be the favorite in the district. What is the regional? Is it District 1? What districts would be put together with you guys in the regional?
Yeah, so if we are fortunate enough to get through next week, which is not going to be an easy task at all, but if we are fortunate enough to get through next week, our regional semifinal game will be against Region 1. So that'll be a team we're familiar with probably.
Right.
Although it could be Marquette, but it'll be all the Big North schools plus Marquette.
Right.
Will be the regional semi, and then if whatever team comes out of that regional semi will play the Lake Linden and I believe Reese Puffer district winners. So that's Muskegon High, Muskegon Reese Puffer, maybe Saginaw Heritage. Like there's some really good teams in that both of those districts. So not that it won't be a tough road to get there, but the competition level will rise.
Oh, certainly.
Exponentially if we get to that district regional final.
No doubt about it.
All right, Coach. And I was I want to tell a little story because I drove past your bus the other night. I did a game for Grayling. In Inland Lakes, and we'd already passed the Grayling bus on the way back. Grayling was successful. And by the way, the Grayling Vikings would take a 6'4" guy any day of the week on their team. That would be awesome. But as I drove past your bus, I could tell just by the behavior on the bus that you guys had won. So I was like, oh, well, I said, well, Cadillac won. It wasn't. There was no sleeping. There was no kid. I mean, you saw some arms up in the air. You saw some things going on. And I said to my broadcast partner, I said, I think Cadillac won. I think it was. I said, I don't have any numbers in front of me, but I think they beat Gaylord tonight. So I thought that was
funny
kind
you
of fun.
say that. Our kids love each other, and our varsity guys in the back of the bus play euchre on the way home
nice.
from almost all road games, and they like to hang out with each other quite a bit. So yes, it was a fun night, listening to music and playing some euchre on the way home from Gaylord.
Well, you are a great coach. If you are teaching, if you have kids that know how to play euchre. That is great coaching. I don't even need to know. I didn't even need to look at your record. I mean, I know you had a great record, 20-2 on the season. But man, if your kids are playing euchre, then you guys are you're great in my book.
Hey, thanks a lot for the compliment.
No
And actually, I have two of my guys that have challenged me, an assistant coach. We have not got a chance to play, but we're doing a team dinner tomorrow. So I think Coach Elto and I will take on Gavin and Charlie and see if we can put them to bed.
Coach, very quickly, mentioning Charlie, any more news on if he might play at the next level or where?
Yeah, so he's got a couple of opportunities. Hope and Trine have both offered.
Okay.
He's still got some outside desires to play Division II basketball, so we're kind of holding out a little bit on that and seeing what's good there. He would really like to go to Hillsdale. The parents love the campus. It's obviously a really good school.
Yeah.
So we're holding out some hope that a Division II school will come, but I will tell you, in this world of the transfer portal, it makes it really tough for high school seniors.
Yeah, you were telling me that before. Unless you're, really a superstar. I haven't had a chance to talk to Greg Campy. I was actually surprised to see them offer Gilo, so I wanted to pick his brain a little bit and see what the thought process behind it. He can fill it up. There's no doubt about it. And but I don't know if he's going to be ready for the speed at Oakland U and the Horizon League. So that'll be interesting to see how he performs.
Another thing that I've learned in my last couple of years, because we've had some pretty good basketball players in our last handful of years here.
Yep.
Lot of recruitment nowadays is on potential versus what you've already done and what you've established.
Yeah.
And I guess that's part of the science of recruiting, right, is trying to see into the future and see not necessarily what a kid is, but what he could be, and provided that kid has the mindset and want to get better. And this is a little plug for my guy Charlie. That's the thing that's astounding to me, is because they don't get harder work. Oh, there's not a harder worker.
No.
There's not a better student. Like, he's the best of the best in all of that, and that's what's been the most perplexing and I'll just say frustrating from him, his parents, and my part, honestly, because I don't know what else he needs to do to prove that he's a Division II player. He's averaging 23 a game, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, 4 assists, shooting 40% from 3, 80 from the line. Like, I don't know what else they're looking for.
And he runs the floor really, really well. I mean, that's the one thing that I kind of look at is, how players feel on the floor. And he's very quick. He knows where he needs to be, both offensively and defensively, instinctually. So, I mean, if I'm evaluating him, this kid looks a little bit like I did, other than the fact that he can score. So
that sounds like high basketball IQ, too. Yeah.
No, I could tell he does have a very high basketball IQ. Your offense, it tends to run through him some, but he doesn't push it, and he looks to involve his players. I think he's got the whole package, and it is surprising that he's not too skinny. It's not he's going to fill out a little bit more in college, but he's got a pretty good build for basketball. I agree with you. I can understand your frustration.
But with that said, guys, wherever he does end up, if it's Hope, if it's Trine, if it's some other school, they're going to get a steal and a kid that'll work really, really hard. I'm excited to see what he does wherever it is he ends up at.
Absolutely. All right, Coach Benzenberg. I got it right that time.
Oh, thank you very much. That's good.
Thank you so much. It was nice talking to you, Coach. I think I've talked to you one other time, but my name's Chad, and it was nice meeting you.
Chad, Jerry, thanks a lot for having us on, and as I say all the time, we appreciate what you guys do for Northern Michigan athletics.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we reach out to you next week, Coach. We'll see where you end up coming out of the district.
And turn down a Bauer for an hour, Coach.
Look forward to chatting with you guys.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
See you guys.
Yeah, they've got a good basketball team there, and as I said, I know he would never assume winning the district. But, yeah. I mean, with you look at the records of the other teams in that district, and Cadillac is the class of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, 20-2. Just looking at the records, I mean, and that's what we're going by. I mean, they are kind of leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else in that district.
Yeah.
But again, we talked about freak things that can happen and those bright lights of the playoffs, and they call it March Mayhem for a reason.
You can call it March Madness. We're referring to high school. We're not mentioning anything about college. So.
Well, I mean, they do call it madness for a reason because on any given day.
You're dancing. So. Everybody's dancing right now, and sometimes
tickets are punched and they're ready to go.
Yeah. So we will. I have a funny feeling we'll be talking to Coach Benzenberg next week. A whole different set of circumstances once this upcoming week of basketball takes place, and you make it through the districts and things get interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I went on that run a couple of years ago and it was fun.
Yeah.
All right, we will be right back with more on the Bill Marsh Automotive Scoreboard Show.
Hi, this is Bill Marsh Jr. Introducing the new eMarsh Custom Purchase Experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh makes car buying fast and easy. Choose your vehicle and options, get an accurate trade-in value, calculate your monthly payment choices, and apply for credit. You can even schedule at-home or at-work test drives and deliveries. Start your eMarsh experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh. Welcome to easy. And thank you.
The Traverse City Record Eagles Simply the Best 2024 Reader's Choice Contest is now open. Nominate your favorite businesses, organizations, and professionals in Northern Michigan to earn them well-deserved recognition as Simply the Best. You can nominate once daily in each category now through Friday, May 10th. Our 2023 Simply the Best broke records with more than 14,500 nominations and more than 26,000 votes. Support your favorites and help them stand out above the rest. Nominate at record-eagle.com/simplythebest.
The greatest hunt auction of the decade is happening March 8th and 9th at the Ellison Place in Gaylord. Presented by Jay's Sporting Goods as the 2024 United Deer Farmers of Michigan Convention gathers outdoor enthusiasts of all ages for 2 days of fun, food, friendship, and live music. More than a dozen spectacular hunting and fishing trips, including a 10-day African safari, Serbian and Belize excursions, hunts from Alaska to Wyoming, all available to bid on. Go to UnitedDeerFarmersOfMichigan.com to register today.
Hi folks, Jim Jeffries for Michigan Trailers in Traverse City, Northern Michigan's volume-leading utility trailer dealer. We have over 200 trailers in stock from America's top brands, including SureTrack, Impact, Cargomax, and now offering Air Tow. all clearly marked at volume value pricing. Add to that full service, parts, plus accessories, and Michigan Trailers can solve all your hauling needs. See us today on US 31 South across from Menards, Traverse City, or visit us online at michigantrailers.com.
Welcome back to the Bill Marsh Automotive Scoreboard Show. I'm Chad Patterson, filling in for Rich Calkins, and I'm along with Jerry Coyne, and we're looking over these boys basketball districts, and the teams that really are in our listening area. I want to concentrate on District 67 for a second. The host is Charlevoix. You got some teams from the LMC in there and some big teams. You got the top teams in the LMC. You got Charlevoix, Elk Rapids, Harbor Springs, and they've kind of shown their muscle throughout the season, and I've seen all of them play. They all got great guard play, but and you know how important that is this time of year. Absolutely. And Harbor Springs has those two sophomore phenoms, Flynn and Bartell, and they're going to bring it. But Elk Rapids is one of the best coached, fundamentally sound teams in our area. And
well, they frustrated Grayling twice.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Like you said, their discipline style, they know what they do well, and they do it. Yeah. And to go ahead and disrupt what they're trying to do, Grayling hasn't been able to do it. A lot of
figure out that combination.
That's right. Yeah.
And really, Elk has done pretty well in the entire conference. Harbor Springs almost nipped them a couple times. It'll be interesting to watch that district. And Charlevoix also has a great sophomore guard, and Joe Gaffney. He put up 25 against Mansalona the other night in about a 30-point victory. Mansalona at 17-5, also in this district. But you and I talked about this off air. Mansalona doesn't go that deep, and depth is going to be important this time of year.
Yeah, they had a really great basketball season this year, Mansalona, but they have, I think, what are they? They're 17-5.
17-5. Yep.
I think that the 3 losses are in their last 4 games. So they might be running out of steam a little bit. We don't know if they've lost a player to injury, which is a potential as well. But yeah, I mean, every game is going to be a battle in that district.
And, of course, we're looking at District 68, too. That includes the Roscommon Bucks right down the road from us here. They come in 9-13. The cream of the crop there in 68 is over on the east side of our state, Alcona and Oscoda. They should be right toward the top for the favorites right there. 17-5, Alcona comes in. And they should be the number 1 seed and really be the favorites in this district. The other teams in that district, you get Charlton Heston Academy at 12-10. They had a win. How about that for a charter school? 12-10, a winning record. I mean, that's pretty good for Charlton Heston. And 4-17 Tawas and 2-18 Whittemore Prescott. And of course, we don't want to forget our teams that we cover here. We talked a little bit about District 1, and we talked with Coach Benzenberg because that's who they're going to be facing in the regional.
Yeah.
But that's really going to come down to Traverse City West. I mean, Traverse City West should be the favorite in District 1, and but they're going to face a little bit of pushback from Marquette, who comes down from the Great Northern UP Conference, and Marquette's 19-3.
19-3, yeah. No, they've had a really good year going on. I want to switch gears back down to the District 71, Chad. That's being played at Benzie Central.
Yeah.
Benzie's got a really good basketball team. I watched the entire game between Traverse City West and Benzie, and Benzie's down at they're a D3 school, West D1.
Yeah.
And they West only won by 5 points. The Benzie Central is really physical basketball team. They're playing at home. They got Houghton Lake, Lake City, Manton, and McBain. McBain's got a really good season going on.
20-2, yeah.
Yeah, and Traverse City St. Francis.
And don't sleep on Sean Finnegan. In a district.
Yeah, and that is a traditional rivalry. Now, I don't know. I can't see here who's playing whom in that bracket, but that is here. It is right here. the print is so small in the Traverse City. So Lake City is playing St. Francis.
Okay.
And Manton is playing Houghton Lake. And so McBain gets the winner of Lake City St. Francis, and Benzie gets Manton and Houghton Lake. It might be difficult to see St. Francis win those two games to play Benzie in the finals, but that is a serious rivalry.
And that would be fun to watch. Yeah, absolutely.
In many, many sports, Benzie Central and St. Francis take on each other in football, and they had a monster game in football last year, and so that's going to be a really interesting district to keep an eyeball on. And the District 70, some of the teams in our listing area, Beale City is hosting Beaverton, Everett, Farwell, Harrison, and Leroy Pine River are in there. And if I remember correctly, Leroy Pine River's got a pretty good season going on.
Yeah, Beale City and Leroy Pine River are the favorites, are the class in that district.
Yeah.
I really don't see anybody beating Beale City in that district except Pine River.
Yeah.
And even that's going to be a tall task.
Yeah, it's fun to see. Like I said, we're speculating here, but I won't be here next Saturday. You and Rich will be able to break it down and see what the surprises are and see who's made that first big hurdle into the regionals.
Yeah, and that'll be fun because I think me and Rich are probably going to have. Hopefully, cross our fingers. I mean, he's.
Well, you guys want to continue to get paid.
Oh yeah, we want to continue to get paid, and of course, I will be traveling all over the state. Hopefully, at home on Friday, but it'll be a fun week, and we'll preview the girls' districts as well next week.
Okay, that's going to do it for the Bill Marsh High School Scoreboard Show, Bill Marsh Automotive High School Scoreboard Show here on Up North Sports Radio. We're going to be switching over to CBS for a little bit, but at noon,
Red Wings.
You'll have the Red Wings taking on the St. Louis Blues right here on Up North Sports Radio. Unfortunately, that keeps us from playing the first Tigers spring training game, which is at 1 o'clock. But, the Red Wings are in a big playoff push. We're going to have 9 spring training games here over the next few weeks before the regular season starts.
Beat the Yankees.
Yeah, it's important.
First game of spring training, beat the Yankees.
Yes. I'll be watching the updates on my phone.
Absolutely, I will too.
Thanks for joining us here on Up North Sports Radio.
This has been the Northern Michigan High School Sports Scoreboard Show, presented by Bill Marsh Automotive. Discover how easy car shopping can be. Join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. with host Rich Calkins. Nobody loves high school sports like Up North Sports Radio.
Grant, some of the free agent quarterbacks or just quarterbacks that could be available in the NFL and where do they end up? Well, let's get one more free agent possibility here. And that is Jimmy Garoppolo, who also, let's not forget, has a suspension to start the season due to PEDs. Did it ever come out exactly what it was? It was he basically was taking something he didn't have a prescription for. So it wasn't maybe the PEDs in the way that we sometimes think about in sports. I mean, it might have been that he was taking some Adderall for all we know. But Garoppolo's landing spots, does he play next season? I'm serious. Like, is he on a roster week 1 next season? The Vikings are plus 350 to land his services. Steelers plus 450. Falcons around 6.5 to 1.
Yeah, and to be clear, I don't know that he didn't have a prescription as much as he wasn't on like a league endorsed list to take whatever he was taking, right? So regardless, to your point, he's going to miss the first 2 games, and he already wasn't that enticing of a prospect to bring in as a starter and pay a bunch of money to anyway. I think he'll be on a roster, but no, I don't think you're overstating it all to wonder that aloud kind of rhetorically. I think there's a very real chance that it's into the season with some injuries before his phone's ringing off the hook. But I will bet on him being on a roster.